Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to today's Explainer. We're going to unpack a seriously brilliant framework from our source material that essentially gamifies personal growth. We're talking about what it actually takes to unlock the internal system we all carry around inside us. The source poses this really fascinating premise. Every single human being has a wildly powerful system within them, but very few actually have the courage to hit the start button. So today, we're going to figure out exactly how to activate yours.
Okay, look at this quote. I will start tomorrow. Ouch, right? Have you ever felt like absolutely everything in your life is just ground to a halt? Like you've got zero motivation, your confidence is totally running on empty, and you're just not seeing any results? The pain of feeling stuck is so incredibly relatable. And when we're in that rut, we all tell ourselves this one universal lie. We look at our massive goals, we look at the mountain of effort required, and we just delay it. We push it off to a mythical tomorrow. But, as the material rightly points out, that tomorrow literally never comes.
So that brings us to Section 1, Level 0, the trap.
This right here is where most of us start, and unfortunately, it's kind of where a lot of us end up staying. This is exactly what it looks like to be completely stuck at level 0. You've got backlogs of work just piling up around you. You're fighting off endless distractions that pull your attention away from what actually matters. We even invent these incredibly creative excuses to justify doing absolutely nothing. But maybe the most dangerous symptom of all, it's looking at a distraction or a bad habit and telling yourself, okay, well, just this last time. The source notes that this is how we lie to ourselves every single day. These aren't just isolated little habits, you guys. They are the walls of a trap, keeping you in this endlessly repeating loop of zero progress.
Moving on to Section 2. Let's do a reality check. No hero. All right, this is a crucial turning point. This is the realization that actually shakes you out of level 0. First up, no magic. Take a second and just let that sink in. Life doesn't change with a magic spell. There is absolutely no enchanted wand that's going to suddenly organize your life, clear out those backlogs, and give you laser focus. It just doesn't exist. And there are no shortcuts. In this game, there are literally no cheat codes to bypass the hard work. You absolutely cannot skip the grind. And finally, no hero. The source makes a super profound realization here. Listen to this. No one is coming to rescue you from this trap. No external force, no magical mentor, no perfect timing is going to swoop in and just fix your life for you. The save point is entirely internal. It is all on you.
Which leads us to Section 3, Rule 1, Daily Mission.
So if there are no shortcuts and no heroes coming to save us, what do? We build our own system. And the ultimate cheat code is the sheer simplicity of this one rule. Every single day demands one completed mission. Honestly, it really doesn't matter if you're just reading one chapter of a book, solving 50 math questions, hitting a quick workout, or practicing one specific skill. The scale of the task, completely irrelevant. The only thing that actually matters here is progress. You are setting a non-negotiable daily rule for yourself and you're sticking to it.
Next up is Section 4, the invisible progress. Now here is where the friction of the grind really kicks in, and it's tough. Let's look at the timeline. Day 1, you complete your mission, and you feel absolutely nothing. Day 2, mission completed, still nothing. A whole week later, you have been putting in the work every single day, and the external results are still absolutely zero. The source material highlights a really harsh truth here. During this initial timeline of unseen progress, people might even laugh at your efforts. They might look at you and say, how long is this really going to last? The external progress is completely invisible at first, which is exactly why so many people just throw their hands up, quit, and fall right back to level 0. But here is the crucial part, the so what of it all. It's about what is actually happening beneath the surface, while the rest of the world sees absolutely nothing. Secretly, with every single completed mission, your internal stats are quietly leveling up. Think about it like this. You're gaining 33% in confidence because you're finally keeping the promises you make to yourself. 33% in discipline because you're proving that you can actually show up every day. And a solid 34% boost in mindset because you are actively shifting from being a passive observer to being an active participant in your own life. The outward results are going to come slowly, sure, but this internal level up, this is the bedrock of the entire system.
All right, Section 5, System over Motivation.
This right here brings us to what feels like the final boss battle of our explainer today. We need to look at the massive contrast between motivation and the system. Look, motivation is totally temporary. It is entirely emotion-based.
It's basically this fleeting feeling that spikes right after you watch a great video or read a really inspiring book, but it completely abandons you the second things get hard. But the system is permanent. It's reliable and it is strictly discipline-based. When you rely on the system, you don't need to feel good to get the work done. You just wake up and execute the daily mission.
The source puts it perfectly with this quote: "Real winners aren't motivated, they are disciplined." Guys, this is a massive paradigm shift. Motivation is basically just a temporary buff to your stats, but discipline is a permanent stat upgrade. The people who are actually out there winning the game of life aren't the ones who are constantly hyped up on caffeine and good vibes. No way. They're the ones who have a disciplined system that they follow every single day, completely regardless of whatever mood they're in.
And this builds into an entirely new way of interacting with the world. It's a total gamer mindset. Think about it. In normal reality, a failure feels pretty devastating, right? But in the gamer mindset, a failure is mapped directly as a lesson. A mistake isn't something to beat yourself up over, it's an upgrade to your future strategy. And a really difficult day where just everything goes completely wrong, that gets reframed as a hidden quest. By looking at your life through the lens of this system, you realize that every single setback is just a mechanism perfectly designed for your growth.
Which brings us to our final part, Section 6. You are the system. As we wrap up our explainer today, we arrive at, honestly, the most empowering realization of all: the actual reality of success. The source reminds us time and time again that success is never achieved in a single day. Not ever. It is built through daily, relentless consistency. It's created mission by mission. It is achieved level by level. And here is the truly fascinating part. When the results finally start to show, the rest of the world is going to look at you and they'll call you lucky. But only you will know the truth. Only you will know about the invisible grind that actually built you. Because the final, hard-hitting truth is this: the system was never outside you. The system was always you. You don't need to go out and buy a perfect planner or find some flawless productivity app or sit around waiting for the stars to perfectly align. The actual machinery required to change your entire life, it's already installed right there in your mind. You just have to activate it by making the choice to start.
So I want to leave you with this ultimate test. Because the real question isn't whether or not you're talented. The true test of your system is this: when nothing goes your way, when you are exhausted, when you're incredibly stressed out, and when the external results are still totally invisible, will you still complete your mission? Because as our source material reveals, that moment right there is exactly where the real level up begins. So what do you say? Are you ready to start your system today?